Mr. Investor Lot, welcome back to the channel, baby. Please remember, none of this is financial advice, it's for entertainment only. BNGO today has been booming. It was up 6% at one point. I was actually hoping that it reaches just into the 4s so I could load the boat. So what I'd like to discuss today is what institutions are doing and some great news that has come out. You know, all across the board, either it's on Twitter, either it's on Reddit, or even on StockTwits, you're seeing all of these robots, all of these bears put all of this misinformation out on Bionano Genomics. They're trying to make you sell your share. What's crazy is they even try to imitate some of the people doing due diligence. They try to imitate, Cisco Trader. They're trying to imitate Messenger of Moiseville Bread. All the meantime, if we take a look here, institutional ownership, we now have 272 institutional owners. Institutional shares is 30.5%. I'm not sure if that's a true reflection. It may be a lot more. And if you look at this, it was ridiculous. The other day, it was 100. We were in the top 100. So this was for the ownership accumulation score over on Fintel, and it was basically showing the highest levels of institutional accumulation. And the lower you are in the ranking, so for example, if you're number 1 out of 21,000 companies, you are the ones that institutions are accumulating the most of. That being said, all of these institutions, there's all of these new positions. All the green is new positions, as you can see. So much new positions. There are people increasing their shares. For example, Bank of America. 8,000% increase in shares, $7.76 an average price, 300,000 shares. So with all these institutions buying in, they are hoping that they can drive the price down and get the retail investor to actually sell their shares at cheap prices. They want you to sell your shares so they can gobble this up. So I also want to cover some great news that's come out. I want to connect and show you guys the connection between them using DNA editing and CRISPR technique, and I want to show you Bionano Genomics Sapphire. There's a connection here between George Church and bringing back this magnificent beast, the woolly mammoth. But before we get into that, I just want to show you the Motley Fool, and it said that Bionano Genomics has an implied upside of 155%, with this peak target price in the next 12 months of $14 a share. And right now we're trading at $5.50. So back to the woolly mammoth, it's something like out of Jurassic Park. They're using genetic editing to bring back some extinct species. So this was covered over the last few weeks and it started to pop off on Twitter. So you've got this George Church backed company and it's launching a $15 million elephant-sized quest. They want to utilize genetic sequencing, genetic editing, they want to utilize genomics to bring this extinct woolly mammoth back to life. And it's because of all the breakthroughs recently with genomic biotechnology presenting the possibility of bringing back these long dead extinct species. Some of you are thinking, oh no, Jurassic Park. Well, what's interesting is the people who actually funded this $15 million project are involved in the production of Jurassic Park. So the $15 million seed round was led by Thomas Tull, the former CEO of Legendary Entertainment. And this is the company that produced Jurassic World. So together, George Church and the tech entrepreneur Ben Lamb are funding this project for the woolly mammoth, and they want to repopulate the Arctic with these lab-grown woolly mammoths. But what has this got to do with Bionano Genomics, Miguel? Well, this magical man actually said something on optical genome mapping a few weeks ago. On the 1st of September, when this article first came out, talking about a collaboration between NewProbe Global on reproductive health and cancer liquid biopsies with Bionano Genomics, at the bottom of the article, it had a quote from George Church, and he said, "The Bionano optical genome mapping system provides direct and unambiguous identification and characterization of large-scale DNA structural variants without complex bioinformatics." George Church, professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School, and he's also a member of NewProbe Scientific Advisory Board. So this man is utilizing genomics and tech for endangered species. He wants to repopulate the earth and stop species from going extinct. He's utilized the CRISPR technique, and he's actually a co-founder at Editus Medicine. And being a co-founder of this latest company, Colossal Biosciences, I found an article which showed a connection between him and the Vertebrate Genome Project. And George Church's fellow co-founder, Ben Lamb, said, "As a tech entrepreneur with a passion for emerging tech, I've been following the powerful impact both CRISPR and George Church has had on genetics for years." Within this article, Colossal is also addressing the challenge of species conservation and species preservation by bringing awareness and funding to the genetic rescue of endangered species. Colossal is in collaboration with the Vertebrate Genome Project. And if you remember from our former videos, What does the Vertebrate Genome Project utilize and have? The Vertebrate Genome Project, coming out of Rockefeller University, just go and check over here in their Genome Arc, so you'll see all the Vertebrate Genome Project data, raw reads and assemblies. And then you get to this page, the Genome Arc Vertebrate Genome Project. It shows you all of the species that they've been mapping out. And there's not one single species on here that doesn't utilize Bionano maps, optical genome mapping. Let's take a look. The black rhinoceros, huge animal. And as you can see that Bionano affects the most bases. Look at that, the approximate size, it gives the most bases and the most coverage. They're also utilizing other technology, but Bionano optical genome mapping they cannot do without. When you go to their website and you look at the statistics, according to leading scientists, it says here on Colossal that 30,000 species per year are driven to extinction. That's 6 per hour, 150 per day, and up to 55,000 per year. The World Animal Foundation is predicting that up to half of all species could be extinct by 2050. 50% of them. You might not even see a lion in the zoo. Can you imagine? By 2050. The United Nations have declared that there's up to 1 million animal and plant species that are threatened with extinction currently. And this is fundamentally why George Church and Ben Lamb has created Colossal. The solution is de-extinction. So why is this important? Who cares? Who's getting involved? Who's showing interest? So imagine you need Bionano Genomics technology in order to map out genomes of species, right? ARC has never invested in Bionano Genomics, but here they are saying, you know what, this is important. This is very interesting. Genetic editing and bringing back species to life. So this project sent a tweet out and said, always a pleasure to hear from George Church, talk biotech disruption, especially breaking speed records on getting critical technologies like vaccines to accessible, useful states. Thanks to Ali Erman from ARC for hosting and moderating. So Colossal, collaborating with the Vertebrate Genome Project, they funded sequencing, assembly, and annotation of the Asian, African, and forest elephant. So the Vertebrate Genome Project, you know, they're trying to sequence, they're trying to map out also 70,000 vertebrates to address fundamental questions in biology and disease, identify species most genetically at risk of extinction, and preserve the genetic information of life. And every creature that they map out, they need Bionano Genomics. It doesn't matter large or small. Let's take a look at the grey whale. Bam! The only data they've got so far is Bionano. What about the Atlantic cod? Bam! Bionano, the most base pairs. When I asked Bionano Genomics founder Hankao, I was asking about species, mapping out the Amazon rainforest, even taking this to Mars. What if Elon Musk was like, you know what, there's different species on Mars, let's map them out. So with my question about exploring Mars with Elon, or even the depths of the oceans and Amazon rainforest, could we use optical genome mapping to look at the structural variations for new species and organisms? The founder of the technology said yes, long-range genome analysis technology could help on all the applications you mentioned above. So these guys are looking at endangered species and extinct species, but apparently there are 15 million different species that live on our planet, but only 2 million of them are known to science. Discovering new species is important as it helps to protect them. Even looking at some of the species that we have now, at 5 feet tall, the Sumatran rhino is the smallest remaining rhinoceros species, and there are fewer than 80 left on Earth. So Colossal, the science of genetics, the business of discovery, the Vertebrate Genome Project utilizing Bionano data and collaborating with Colossal, there's going to be a lot of money going into research and discovery, as well as genetic editing and preservation of all of these species. And Bionano Genomics is currently a vital piece of the puzzle for all of these species that we're mapping out. So this project is working on 70,000 extant vertebrate species. They want to map out the vertebrate species that are known. But I just want to remind you, not only are we mapping out these species of plants and animals, but there are bacteria, there are viruses, there are fungi. And in terms of viruses, look here, there are more than a quadrillion individual viruses existing on Earth. They're saying that this is an estimated 10 nonillion, that's 10 to the 31st power individual viruses existing on the planet, enough to assign one to every single star in the universe 100 million times over. So there are more viruses on this planet than there are stars in the universe. And with CRISPR technology, we're discovering and exploring so many different things. Spicy tomatoes, hangover-proof wine, is there anything CRISPR can't do? Genetic sequencing, mapping, and editing go hand in hand. And there's a reason why all of these institutions have flocked to Bionano Genomics. We used to have 5% institutional ownership. We barely had anyone invested in us. Now we have 272 different institutions, and we'll probably see over 300 by the end of this year. Just think, what do they know? What they're expecting? Why are they investing so much into Bionano Genomics? And why are they increasing their position? Some of you guys even beat the big boys into this stock. So imagine this, Bionano Genomics, some of you have it at 50 cents. Vanguard has an average of $7.70. They had $1.86 before, but they actually averaged up. So if everybody continues to increase and average up in their shares, what do they think Bionano Genomics is worth if they've accumulated shares and they've got an average now of $7.70? What do they think BNGO could be in the future? And I want to see what you guys think, so drop me some comments down below. And if you enjoy videos like this and you find it useful and valuable and entertaining, I have a PayPal link in my description box below. I thank you guys so much for the donations. It literally helps us get by here, and we're jumping every time we see a donation. We're so grateful. I was running up the stairs. I was like, Dad, look at this. Somebody sent me this much. It was amazing. So I thank you so much. Thank you so much for your generosity. If you want to join channel memberships, just click the join button above my head. It's only 99 cents a month. And I've got some really good videos coming up for Bionano Genomics. I've been looking into some of our clients and what they're utilizing BNGO for and what they're currently exploring. And it's quite exciting. So I'm wishing you guys the very best. Thank you so much for watching. And if you can, please hit the like, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Always remember, none of this is financial advice. It's for entertainment only. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later, baby. Mr. Investor Lot, over and out, baby.